/star.
New today, the New York Times reporting 2 more workers were undocumented when hired at the Trump National Golf Club in New Jersey. This comes after an undocumented worker told the Times she has worked without legal status at the club for the past 5 years. And NBC's Kate Snow spoke with her.
I liked working for him, but when I saw how he talked about us when he started his presidency, I felt humiliated.
How did you get the job without any documentation?
I told them that I don't have papers, I don't speak English, and that I was an immigrant. They said, no, it doesn't matter.
Her attorney, Anibal Romero, is joining me now. Anibal, with a welcome to you. Okay, I'm curious, what's happened to your client since this story broke?
Sure. So Vicky is in a safe place. She's doing well. After the story broke, she received a phone call from the very same woman that she has accused of abuse, which I thought was rather interesting. I advised her not to pick up the phone, and she has been receiving phone calls from other workers inside of the golf club. Remember, there are 4 women here. I represent 3 of them, and 2 of them have received phone calls from other undocumented workers who are currently still at the job, and we're getting mixed messages from them.
And I'm just going to say her name is Victorina Morales. You call her Vicky there. What are they telling you, these 3 that you represent?
Well, they're saying that they were victims of abuse. At least 2 of them have said that false documents were provided by someone in the Trump organization, that they were coerced into doing work they didn't want to do. They were threatened with deportation. And that is why we have been asking for a federal investigation. I believe Department of Homeland Security should definitely look into this as soon as possible. Remember, we believe there are more workers inside of the golf club, and this is the same story every worker will probably share, that they were working there, that it was a toxic environment, that some of them may have been threatened with deportation. These are elements of federal crimes, and they need to be investigated.
2 things here. You said claims of abuse. I want to know, first of all, what kind of abuse? And secondly, you're saying that the Trump organization, according to your clients, at least 2 of them, provided these women with the false documents?
Yes, that is something I think has not been covered quite extensively. But yes, in the case of Vicky and Sandra, someone from inside of the Trump organization helped them obtain these documents. In fact,
how did that happen?
Sure.
I mean, so they come forward and they say, we want to hire you. Oh, guess what? You're undocumented. Oh, we'll give you the documentation to pass inspection, if you will.
Right. So in the case of Sandra, she was only required to provide 2 pictures, and they would get the documents for her. Once the documents were given to her, she was supposed to hand them over to a supervisor and was told never to talk about that incident again. And in the case of Vicky, her picture for her green card was taken inside of the golf club at the laundry, and the next day she was taken to a small town next to the golf club to pick up those documents.
Okay, and the abuse allegations are about what kind of abuse?
Yes, so Vicky was assaulted 3 times by her direct supervisor. Sandra witnessed other women being abused physically, assaulted as well.
What kind of assaulting are you talking about? Are you talking about being beaten up?
Hair pulling, pushing against the wall. And when Sandra complained to the head of the golf club, they assigned someone to sort of try to calm the situation down, and nothing happened after that. So these are the types of abuses that we think need to be investigated.
What is the Trump organization saying about these abuse allegations?
We have not heard anything from them.
Why is Victorina Morales speaking out? Because you said she's safe, but doesn't she risk deportation? Doesn't the light that gets shined on this situation also allow others who are undocumented workers there risking deportation as well?
Yes, but remember, when you are a victim of a crime, the law protects you. There are immigration laws that will protect victims of crimes. They would probably be eligible for a U visa or a T visa. In the case of Victorina, she says enough is a must. Enough is enough. I'm tired of this. I've been dealing with this for years. I just can't take it anymore. And at one point, she had a very positive image of the president before he became president. But since then, the abuse is getting worse. So she is really upset. She wants people to know what is happening. And Vicky has applied for asylum. And we will be arguing in front of an asylum officer on December 17th. We believe she has an extremely good asylum claim. She will be able to win that asylum claim and get legal permanent residency.
All right. I asked you for the Trump Organization comment with regard to abuse, but I'm just going to say that the organization did not specifically react to your client's case. However, a Trump Organization spokesperson has said this in a statement overall. We have tens of thousands of employees across our properties and have very strict hiring practices. If an employee submitted false documentation in an attempt to circumvent the law, they will be terminated immediately. Is there thing, Anibal, that would suggest to you that the president himself knew of immigration status of the people working at his golf club?
We have no evidence that the president knew, but what I could tell you is that these women worked inside of the president's house. They weren't working in a hotel with 300 or 400 employees. They were working in his house, and they were being managed directly by a woman who has direct contact with the First Lady. That is why we are asking for a federal investigation and/or state authority investigation to determine who knew what did they know, why wasn't anything done.
Attorney Anibal Romero, I suspect we're going to hear a lot more from you, sir. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Coming up next, consider impeachment.